Take me through what happens there in overtime and the goal.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not really an overtime guy, but it was nice to get out there, and Vinny made a heck of a play, and I gotta just put it in an empty net.
What does happen out there in overtime is a little bit what becomes available.
Yeah, I think guys are kind of curling around everywhere. It's you're managing your energy, you're managing how tired the other team is. So there's a lot of things you kind of got to judge, and then look for opportunities to create odd mans, and that's kind of the whole game of it.
The first period, you guys are down 2-0 after that. These are not the periods that you guys are wanting to put forward over the last few games. Down a couple of goals at the end of two. What's said? How does it change going into period number 2?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we'd have had a little bit of an issue over that, a month or two ago, and then we did a good job in the last, 10-ish games, and tonight just. I think it was, we weren't winning battles. We were second to pucks. They were beating us to pucks, and, they kind of tilt the ice that way. And, second period it was a lot better, and third period was a lot better, and held on to pucks a little bit more. Guys were skating, guys were supporting each other.
It sounds like an odd thing to say about one game, but is there a maturity to the game that happens for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's, when they score one late. It's an emotional roller coaster. Teams can kind of go either way, and for us to stick with it, it was a good sign, a mature sign, and we'll build on that.
Well, there's a whole mythos around clutch goals and clutch scoring. Some true, some not. But when it actually happens, you're out there, and there's an overtime goal like that. What's the reaction you have?
I mean, yeah, I'm not known to be an offensive guy, but whenever I can help out and on that side of the rink, it's great. And, like I said, it was a, good play by Vinny. He put it right in my wheelhouse, and I just got to hit the net. There's not a whole lot to say besides, Vinny making a heck of a pass.
What have you learned about Blake Smith getting into a couple games on a pairing with him?
Yeah. He's a young kid, and, I think he's mature, as a player for his age, which is exciting. I really like playing with him. He's a big body, likes to play physical, and he makes plays. So I think our connection has been pretty good. And I think his game is growing too. He's getting a little more confidence to make those plays. And I think your first couple of years in the league, you got to judge when to make those plays, when to not make those plays. And I think he's doing a great job at it.